The scientific fact is that we did not exist until a man put his cock into a woman's cave, shot sperm, and 9 months later, we had a brain. That's what the Egyptians believed, but they didn't know the science of it. To them, the stars were gods, the penis was God, the vagina was God, and they kneeled down to worship it with both hands. The hand that masturbated the Garatun was the hand of the goddess, and religious is a mental illness.
Hi friends, this is Calpun Piso, bringing up more facts and good news. You know, we all are product of coitus. And you know what coitus is simply a fuck. We are evolved, mutated primates. Crazy apes. That's what we are. And interesting thing is that the destruction of the mental illness, the neurological disorder that is plaguing humanity for thousands and thousands of years, but initiated basically about 1500 years ago. In other words, the neurological disorder, the schizophrenia-like disorder of God belief. Believing in God, which is a bizarre mythological belief, and God can have many, many myths and many fairy tales and crazy mythologies found also in delusions produced by schizophrenia and temporal lobe epilepsy, is beginning to be destroyed by the internet, by information, neurology, and all that. The most virulent of the disorders of God belief, or zombie God belief, a schizophrenia type disorder, because remember, we create thoughts with the brain. When the brain malfunctions, you accept irrational God crap and mythologies as reality. And the most destructive is Christianity. Christianity from Christus, Archelaus Megistus, the title of Julius Caesar, the Pater Patriae, the Savior, the anointed Messiah, and began with Constantinus in 325, the Council of Nicaea. But that's history. The thing is that that neurological disorder, which is the acceptance of gods and imaginary friends as reality, is beginning to disappear. It's beginning to end with the internet and knowledge. And of course, neurology. But the neurologists and the so-called mentally healthy atheist intellectuals, they don't see it. They don't link mental illness of disorders of God belief and acceptance of stupid crap like that as reality, which is found also in schizophrenia as a neurological disorder. Because religion is organized as schizophrenia. It's one of the schizophrenias. And the internet people are beginning to get smart and start realizing that if you believe in God, you're acting like a schizophrenic. You're no different. And it's all over the world. Because God, the disorder of God has many, many, many names. And they are accepted as reality. Just like having children accept two-year-old, three-year-old children will accept Winnie the Pooh, Santa, Tooth Fairy as reality. Because the brain hasn't grown. Now, if they are 18 years old and they accept the Tooth Fairy and Santa as reality, there is a problem. But see, the Tooth Fairy or Winnie the Pooh are as real as Jesus Christ and Allah, Muhammad, and all the rest of fantasies and bizarre beliefs contain or at the root of all religious faith. So if you believe in God, you're a theotard. Something is a problem with the brain. And the internet is going to destroy all that religious psychosis. That the neurologists are too scared to connect and to link faith, spirituality, conspiracy theory crap, all creations of malfunctioning brains that are accepted as reality, as one of the schizophrenias. Religious is organized as schizophrenia. If you have faith in God and nonsense like that, you're either extremely stupid, extremely ignorant, or you are suffer from a temporal lobe epilepsy or schizophrenia and other disorders like that. That's a fact. And the internet is going to destroy faith. And it's beginning. It's beginning. Especially now that we have beginning the month of March. And I tell you what the month of March is, which is Mars.
The month of March, we have blood events, crucifixion of a god to save with blood from the mudman and a real woman accepting a fruit from a talking snake. Then we have Passover of a bloody, killing all the children and all that in Egypt. That we have, and this all from Greek mythology. Here you can see it, all taken from Greek mythology. It's a psychosis. Then with the resurrection of Christ. Well, big deal. This is a resurrection of a lot of Roman emperors. They were divine Christ, like Julius Caesar. You see the resurrection of Antoninus Pius here, for instance. With Nike's taking him to heaven in body. They were a dime a dozen. This is the resurrection of Antoninus Pius. So when this is Christian imbeciles, look at this. It's all sadomasochistic. Look at the heart is being offered to zombie Jesus. Jesus is a zombie because he resurrected and saved with blood. So here it is. And this is teaching all these kids this crap. And it's all at the root of Christianity. And circumcision is also from Jewish psychosis. And you flagellate yourself and draw blood is all Christianity here. And this is taught by these imbeciles stuck in the Middle Ages, Christ psychotics, to everybody. And you teach them to everybody. The United States is a Christ psychosis infected nation. You even make people trying to convert lions to Christianity. It is a psychosis. And they teach that in church. These imbeciles, doctors are praying before operation. Go and pray if you get cancer. This guy took his eyes off in church because of Christ psychosis. And it's all come from the killing of Julius Caesar the Christus on the 15th of March of the year 44 BCE. The crazy Pope quit and the Jews are still praying on a wall. They're infected with God psychosis.
Very ignorant, retarded.
Human beings were created to grow in soul. We're here to take that spark of the divine
Listen, guy,
inside of us.
we're in the 21st century, not the 12th. There is no such a thing as a soul. It's the air in your lungs.
Shine and to return.
Sadomasochism are the core of Abrahamic religions, a mental disorder. And the reason is that they don't know that the brain is going to create thoughts.
The so-called Abrahamic religions began in this holy city of Rome. It was the capital city, holy city, of a vast empire that comprises many, many, many provinces. It's like United States having 50 states, including protectorates like Puerto Rico. Puerto Ricans have a different culture, speak different language, but they are Americans, abiding by American law. In the Roman Empire, everything was abiding, all the provinces, including the province of Judea, Palestina, where is Lebanon and Israel, Syria, Jordan, all these states. And Egypt was also a province of the Roman Empire. The Jews, the so-called Jews and Palestinians that used to be the sea people, over 3,500 years ago, that raided the coast of Egypt, were also Roman citizens. That's what people don't understand and don't see. That's the reason you don't find a Temple of Solomon or David or crap like that, because always under the control of the divine Roman emperors that were considered gods is Julius Caesar the Christus, the Jesus Christ, which is the title, by the way, as well as Moses is a title also, son of the sun god Ra. So all that was in control. So the Jews, Palestinians, are simply nothing but they were Roman citizens, you know, with the Roman temples. This so-called Temple of Solomon, which is a stupidity personified. There's no such a thing as Solomon. It doesn't exist. It's a Roman temple to Jupiter. And of course, Julius Caesar the Christus, the Jesus Christ, in heaven along with his mother in the shape of a comet that appeared, the comet of 44 BCE and Caesar's funeral games given by the son of God Octavius, which is Augustus. This you can see that is historical fact. So all those temples, he blended Jupiter with Jupiter and other gods. So the temple in so-called Temple of Solomon, the Jews are and Christians and everyone that was infected with Christ psychosis, the Jewish psychosis, Islam psychosis, are actually banging their heads on the ruins of a Roman temple. But this month of March, that's when the Lord and Savior Julius Caesar the Christus was sacrificed, his sacred blood spilled, 15th of March, 44 BCE. And that's what Good Friday comes from, and blood. And Good Friday is blood, and this is my, you know, in the Catholic, which means Universal Church, you have the priests during the Eucharist. There you go, Jesus Christ and the cross. Well, the cross, it didn't exist. The cross is a tropaion, it's a symbol of victory, where the image, the wax image of the god Julius Caesar was placed. And the first people that went over to worship him because he had protected were the Roman residents of the province of Judea, Palestina, so-called Jews that were merchants and speculators, and they were the first at his funeral. And they will form that section, that cult of Julius Caesar called Judaism, because they mix all that with the cult of and then Julius Caesar turned into the son of David and all that, especially with the comet, which is the Star of David, which is the star of Julius Caesar. And then the Christians, you know, the so-called, which are actually Caesarians following of Julius Caesar, with the Emperor Augustus, which is the son of God Augustus, was the one that developed all the temples, all that, all the different Christian sects emerged from all that. And later will be Islam. So they all come from the same thing. They all have blood sacrifice. And the Jews have the Passover in the same day, the month of Nisan, which is also March. That's the reason you have Passover started the 29th, the 25th of March, and lasts for a few weeks. And then you have Good Friday, which is the 29th of March. They're all related to the sacrifice of Julius Caesar with his blood. That's the reason all these people have blood. And then the Jews invented that angel of the Lord that came around and painted the doors, you know, they told the Jews to paint the door so that way the angel won't kill the firstborn and pass over the door. All that crap comes from the sacrifice of Julius Caesar, the mutations of it. That's the reality.
Connect these two books. They are based on historical facts, and these are based on mythological crap. As you've noticed, any of these programs that have to do with Caesar, they never call Caesar for what he was. He was regarded as a savior, as a divine being. Thus the name Divus Julius, divine Julius. They call Julius Caesar anything, emperor, general, politician, whatever, except a god, a Christus. This is the key. When you hear the name Julius Caesar mentioned, just remember, he was a Christus, he was a god. And the temples, coins, and epigraphy are there for all to see. his grandnephew who became the Emperor Augustus. He was the son of God Augustus. Augustus is a title that means exalted one. He was the son of God, born of a virgin, because his mother Atia, the niece of Julius Caesar, was believed to have been impregnated by the god Apollo. And that is the reason Augustus, that became an emperor, divine son of God, he built temples in the Palatine to the god Apollo, which is equivalent to Zeus, the sun god. And then the temple to Venus, Genetrix, the life giver, which is the mother of Julius Caesar, the Virgin Mary. Everything is there if you know where to look. All the symbols, everything.
All the craziness that you see today in the United States of America is due to Christ's psychosis. Some big I believe. You have hundreds and millions of churches infected the brain of children, and the parents infected them too. And that's the reason you have all the news of all these crazy people doing all this stuff. A guy having sex with a horse and then saying that it's because he wants to have babies with the horse and all that crap. I mean, pastors sitting on top of, for exorcism, sitting on top of children, abused children. You have the Vatican, all these pedophiles. And because not only the Vatican, there's a lot of pastors, Protestant pastors are also pedophiles. It comes with Christianity, with Christ's psychosis. All come from Christ. All the crazy thinking comes from Christ's psychosis. Koresh, you have Jim Jones, you have Andrea Yates, drowning 5 children, all due to Christ's psychosis. It's the mental illness that nobody sees. God believe. And it's ridiculous and it's very ignorant of mentally healthy, in other words, atheist intellectuals like Dawkins, Harris, P.C. Myers, scientists like Dr. Krauss, the head of the science in the United States, Eugene Scott, and all the other scientists that actually don't link religious beliefs, Christianity especially, the acceptance that a zombie named Jesus Christ was crucified and resurrected to save with his blood for the sin committed by a madman and a ribbed woman when they accepted a forbidden fruit from a talking snake in a garden. This is a psychosis, a bizarre metamagical belief, no difference than the beliefs produced by a schizophrenia, temporal lobe epilepsy.
And these atheist scientists don't understand that we are created by a sperm and egg, and we float in the amniotic fluid like a fish. And then the brain is created with no knowledge or information, zero. And then we are born. And that's when we get our soul, which is air in our lungs. And here are the parents of this beautiful baby. And of course, they do bite. And if you believe in God, you are a theotard.
And this is the problem in the United States of America. Christ psychosis. And scientists, they never mention it. They don't equate religious beliefs with a mental illness, that it is. And where are these people so blind? All the atheists so blind? The brain is the creator of thought. And don't they understand that? They were product of a fuck? And if you have a bad brain that is bad genes and all that, you'll never be able to be a scientist. And you start believing in gods and all that, and every time you don't understand science or you don't understand something, you say God did it, and you start believing in saints and angels and crap like that. Don't these atheists understand that? Religion is a mental illness, and they should mention that. You never mention religious belief with saying psychosis after it. So you say religious psychosis. When a person is an atheist, means that you don't believe in all that crap, and you can tell between fact and fiction, and you always ask questions, and you reason in a rational, with your feet down on the world of reality, then you're an atheist, you're mentally healthy. So anytime you say an atheist, you say mentally healthy. Because if Christ psychosis infected imbeciles, they probably think that atheism means the worship of the goddess Athe. So let's keep that in mind. So atheists, wake up. And always never mention the word religion by itself. Always add psychosis after it. Christ psychosis. And ism is way down. Thanks to the internet, people don't stop believing all that crap of religious nonsense. And eventually will be destroyed by the internet. Pace Dios.